Hi, everyone. My name is Carly Otskuski of Uplifting Melodies Tutoring, and I'm here today to show you the difference between por y para when we speak Spanish. So, por and para both translate into English as for, F O R. So, that can be very confusing if you're trying to learn Spanish, and there are differences between the two, but sometimes as English speakers, it can be difficult for us to know which one is which. So give me a moment. I'm going to share my screen. This is actually my very first YouTube Live, so I'm excited. And leave me a comment if you find this helpful. I would love to hear what you think. So let me hit the slideshow. All right, let's go. So this is what I call spooky Spanish because it's a little spooky sometimes to those of us who are English speakers to know the difference between por versus para. So we're going to break that down today. So when do we use por? Typically, we use por with cause or means. So think of words that could translate also in English like through or by, because of, or in exchange for. So these are things like reason or cause. Why does it happen? Lo hice por ti. That translates as I did it for you. The approximate place or time. So we have caminamos por el parque. We walked or we walk through the park. Means or manner, how something is done. Te llamé por teléfono. So por teléfono would be like by phone or on the phone. So like I called you by phone. Exchange or substitution. So this is a really good one. Anytime you're exchanging one thing for another, it's going to be por. So for example, te doy mi libro por tu cuaderno. So this is I give you or I'll give you my book for your notebook. Duration of time, how long does something last? Estudié por 2 horas. So this one I studied for 2 hours. And then distribution, like per or for each, la velocidad es 60 kilómetros por hora. So that one, the velocity or the speed is 60 kilometers per hour. All right. Next one. So this is where you get to take what you might know already in Spanish. If you don't know Spanish yet, that's fine. You can listen and learn. So the first one is gracias por tu ayuda. Gracias por tu ayuda. This one would mean thank you for your help. Gracias por venir a mi fiesta. Gracias por venir a mi fiesta significa thank you for coming to my party. Gracias por el regalo. Gracias por el regalo significa thank you for the gift. Gracias por tu tiempo significa thank you for your time. Gracias por escucharme significa thank you for listening to me. Gracias por la información. You can probably guess this one even if you don't know Spanish. The good news is about 40% of words are similar between Spanish and English. So this one is thank you for the information. Gracias por todo. This is a great one that you can use in a lot of situations. Thank you for everything. Gracias por estar aquí. Thank you for being here. Gracias por tu paciencia. Thank you for your patience. Gracias por participar. Thank you for participating. Okay, and there's the answers. All right, so now from English to Espanol. So, número uno, I am walking through the park. I am walking through the park. So you can think of it. I'm going to maybe flip back and forth between. You can also see, even though you'll get a little sneak peek of the future answers, that's okay because I want you to be able to see it as well as hear it. So, número uno, I'm walking through the park. Estoy caminando por el parque. Número dos, the food is cold because of the cold air. I'll give you a minute to think through it. And you can always, of course, pause this, listen to it on a different speed, whatever you need in order to learn these. You can go back to it. That's a great thing about the video. La comida está fría por el aire frío. And notice we had the word cold twice in this sentence. In one situation, it was fría. The other, it was frío. So the reason for that is in Spanish, there are gendered words, gendered nouns. So nouns are either masculine or they're feminine. So we have la comida. When you have la or las, that's a feminine word that comes next. So comida is a feminine word. That means that we're going to say fría. Aire is el aire. So that one is going to be frío. Okay, let's go back to the next one. They study for 2 hours. That one will be ellos estudian por 2 horas. Número 4, I work in the morning every day. I work in the morning every day. That one will be trabajo por la mañana todos los días. And we have the coffee is hot because of the sun. This one is el café está caliente por el sol. Estamos, let me go back. We are traveling by bus today. Estamos viajando por autobús hoy. And then last of all, we have the phone is broken because of the water. So this one, el teléfono está roto por el agua. So roto is an irregular. We call this the past participle. And then why? Because of the water. And this one, agua, is actually feminine, but it says el agua here because with you don't want a la and an agua together, so that's why, because the a is stressed, it's el agua. Muy bien. Vamos a, when do we use para? So para is used for purpose, destination, goal, or deadline. So purpose or goal, the reason something is done, like estudio para ser doctora. I am studying or I study to become a doctor. Notice in Spanish, you don't need a word for when we're talking about profession. You just leave it ser doctora. So you do not need a word for or an in front of your profession. The destination or direction, where someone or something is headed. So for example, este regalo es para ti. This gift is for you. Deadline or a specific time limit. El proyecto es para mañana. This project is for tomorrow. Opinion or viewpoint in someone's opinion. Para mí, este libro es muy interesante. For me, this book is very interesting. Okay, so let's try these. I am going to buy this gift for my friend. So we have, if you get confused, just break it into parts. We have the I am going. We have to buy this gift for my friend. See if you can get each of those parts. I am going is going to be the same word as I go. And then you're going to use an a, and then you're going to use the word for to buy. So let's break this down. And I am again going to be flipping back and forth. So just so that you can see the answers as well as hear them. I know you might kind of get a preview of the upcoming answers, but hopefully this is still helpful for you to be able to see them. So let me go. This would be, voy a comprar este regalo para mi amigo. Okay, next one. She is studying to become a doctor. So I kind of, I think, had a similar sentence earlier. This would be, ella está estudiando para ser doctora. The flowers are for my mom. So when you're talking, again, when you're talking about gift giving, you're going to be using para. Las flores, excuse me, son para mi mamá. We are leaving for the airport at 7 a.m. Estamos saliendo para el aeropuerto a las 7 a.m. o a las 7 de la mañana, we could say. This book is for learning Spanish, so it's for the purpose of learning Spanish. Este libro es para aprender español. I need the report by tomorrow. So this is like a timeline, a deadline. We're going to use para. Necesito el informe para mañana. They are preparing food for the party. Ellos están preparando comida para la fiesta. The phone is for calling clients. So again, this is for the purpose of. Este teléfono, let me just check something here. This phone, yes. So este teléfono es para llamar a los clientes. He is working a lot in order to buy a car. Él está trabajando mucho para comprar un coche. Otra vez, él está trabajando mucho para comprar un coche. I am saving money for a vacation. Estoy ahorrando dinero para unas vacaciones. Okay, muy bien. Now let's go to, okay, so a little bit more practice. So with these ones, you might be using por for some of them and para for others. So you're going to try to look at the difference. So real quick, let's go back to remind you of when each is used. So again, por are things like reason or cause, going around a place or time, means or manner, how something is done, exchange or substitution, one thing for another, duration of time, or distribution like per or for each. Para is used for purpose, destination, goal, or deadline, purpose or goal, destination or direction, deadline or opinion or viewpoint. All right, so let's try these. Oops. I am studying for the test. Okay, so think of this one. This would be for the purpose of, right? So if we go back, purpose or goal, I'll give you a little hint for maybe the first two or three, but then you have to do them on your own after that. So this one would be, estoy estudiando para el examen. Número dos, we are walking through the city. So this one, this is going around a place, right? So we are walking through the city. Estamos caminando por la ciudad. Okay, she bought the coffee for $3. Okay, if you don't know how to say bought yet. Try to do she buys, and then you'll see how to say bought. So this one, ella compró el café por $3. So when you're talking about money and buying something for a certain amount of money, that's an exchange, right? She's getting the coffee for $3. That's she gave the coffee shop $3. They gave her a coffee. So this one is por. Compró is the preterite, which is one of the past tenses in Spanish. That's the tense you use for actions that have happened once and they're over. She bought this coffee. She's done buying the coffee. Compró. If you didn't know how to say bought yet and you did buy, it would be ella compra el café por $3. If you wanted to say she buys the coffee for $3. Okay. Número 4, the children are playing because of the nice weather. Because of the nice weather. So this one, los niños están jugando por el buen clima. So this is not for the purpose of, it's more like because of. So this one is por. Okay? I need this report by Friday. So this is a deadline. So think of which one do you use when there's a deadline? You are going to use para. Necesito este informe para el viernes. Notice el viernes. So el typically means the. In Spanish, when you say on a day of the week, you say el. So literally you're saying the Friday, but that's the way you say on Friday in Spanish would be el viernes. Ellos viajan por el... Oops. I can't give you the answer before the question. First, we need to do this one. They travel by train every summer. So you got a hint. If you're doing this one, you got the first part already. So see if you can remember it. So this is the method of traveling. So this one would be por. Ellos viajan por tren cada verano. So cada verano would be like each summer, or you could do todos los veranos, which would be every summer. I went to the store for bread. Okay, this one, fui a la tienda por pan. So this one, you wanted to get bread, right? So you're going to do por. The meeting is for discussing the project. The verb for to discuss is discutir. And another thing to notice, a lot of times when you see ing in English, you're going to use what we call the infinitive verb, which is just that verb with the AR, ER, or IR ending in Spanish. So unless if it's something like I am walking or she was eating or they were talking, then you would use what is in Spanish what we call the gerund, which is ando typically or yendo. But in this case, we could also say like the meeting is to discuss the project. And so we're just going to use discutir here. But you do have to decide for this for, are you going to use por or para? So here, you're going to use para. It's for the purpose of. So la reunión es para discutir el proyecto. He is famous for his music. Okay, this is like because of. So él es famoso por su música. And then I work for a large company. When you work for a place, it's trabajo para una gran empresa. Another one that I didn't mention is voting. When you vote, you say por. So if I voted for a certain person, you're going to use por for that. Okay, muchas gracias. Gracias por mirar. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. So if you would like to get in touch with me, just leave me a comment below. You can also email me at hello@upliftingmelodiestutoring.com. Right now, I do have a private tutoring offer available. So this can be for Spanish, as well as reading, math, or English. It is $500 for 8 hours of virtual tutoring with me. That's $100 savings per package. You can purchase multiple packages if you like. Right now, there are 10 of these available. And in order to receive this, you would enroll by July 1st of this year, 2026, at 5 p.m. Central Time. The way you enroll is by completing the contact form that's below upliftingmelodies.tutoring.com/contact-us, and the QR code is there as well, so you can scan that and get in touch with us. And you can actually use those sessions all the way from July 13th of this year until May 27th of 2027. So you have plenty of time to use the sessions, but in order to get the special offer, you do need to enroll by Wednesday, July 1st at 5 p.m. Central Time. So please reach out to me. Again, just scan that QR code, fill out the quick contact form, and I will be in touch with you to set up your sessions. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this. Leave a comment. Let me know how you liked it and if you have any questions. And there will be a couple of these coming up next week, so watch out for those. Thanks so much. Adios.